Good morning, wrestling fans. September 4th, 2024. It's Wednesday. You know what that means. Tonight, AEW Dynamite, the go-home episode before this Saturday's AEW All-Out pay-per-view. Gonna be talking and previewing tonight's AEW Dynamite. But first, at noon Eastern today, exclusively on X, kicks off the first ever WWE Speed Women's Tournament. And today, the first round match in the first Women's Speed Tournament is Io Sky taking on Lyra Valkyria. We have seen a few of the Speed men's tournaments now, and I've talked about on the podcast before about how I am actually a big fan of Speed. I enjoyed the matches with the 3-minute time limits. It helps have a fast, quick-paced match. And most of the matches that they have had on Speed so far have been very good. And the championship matches have a 5-minute time limit. So we will have to wait and see if the women can do the same thing as the men and have some good, quick, entertaining matches. On the first episode of the WWE Speed Women's Tournament, it all begins today, noon Eastern, exclusively on X, or if you still call it Twitter, just remember to watch it. You don't have to watch it right at noon. Just as long as it's afternoon, you can watch it anytime. And like I have said before on the podcast, that even if you're at work and you have a quick break, since the 3-minute time limit, you could just go on your phone real quick, go on to X, and watch WWE Speed. So we have Io Sky versus Lyra Valkyria today, and with those two, I'm sure they'll put on a really good match. And now, on to tonight's AEW Dynamite. Live 8 p.m. Eastern on TBS. And it is the go-home episode of Dynamite before this Saturday's AEW All Out. Taking place live from the UW Panther Arena in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And tonight, appearing will be the AEW Women's World Champion Mariah May. And her challenger will be in action tonight on Dynamite. Timeless Toni Storm will be taking on the native beast Nyla Rose. And in a non-title match, the AEW World Trios champions, PAC and the Blackpool Combat Club, Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta, will be taking on the team of Will Ospreay, Freshly Squeezed Orange Cassidy, and Kyle O'Reilly. That should be a fun, entertaining match right there. Looking forward to seeing that one tonight. And the AEW Continental Championship will be on the line as the Continental Champion Kazuchika Okada will defend against Kyle Fletcher. Kyle Fletcher, great worker, definitely an entertaining performer, but I do not see him defeating Okada tonight for the Continental Championship. I don't see them taking the title off of Okada anytime soon, or at least I wouldn't think so. And that is all that has been announced so far at this time for tonight's AEW Dynamite. Once again, live 8 p.m. Eastern on TBS before AEW All Out this Saturday, live on pay-per-view from the Now Arena in Chicago or Hoffman Estates, Illinois, whichever you want to call it. And sometime this weekend, I do want to try to have a new episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic talking all about All Out. Not quite sure exactly as of right now when that will be happening, but I definitely want to try to get that new episode talking all about All Out sometime this weekend, so hopefully we'll get that done. And that is all for this Wednesday episode of 360. Good morning, wrestling fans. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Just one more thing before I wrap up this episode of GMWF. A quick podcast recommendation, as I do sometimes. Before I left for work just now, I was listening to the new episode of Talk is Jericho that dropped today with Scott D'Amore. Discusses his time in TNA/Impact Wrestling, and also discusses bringing back Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. Very good interview. I haven't finished quite all of it just yet, but I recommend listening it to wherever you get your podcast from. Talk is Jericho. And remember, in the comments section right now, you can leave your thoughts and your opinions on last night's episode of WWE NXT and your predictions for this Saturday AEW All Out. I will be back tomorrow for the Thursday episode of 360 Good Morning Wrestling Fans, and I hope everyone that is listening right now can join me once again. But until tomorrow morning, have a great pro wrestling day.